Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whoever you are. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Guys, girls. Yeah, no watch along yesterday. I wasn't actually at home. I was out for a friend's birthday all day and all night. So I had to watch the game this morning. Obviously saw the results, saw the goals as they were going in, but watched the game back this morning, digested it, and here we are. I'll be honest, nothing I'm seeing has changed my opinion from anything I said in the summer or anything I've been saying all season. I think it's a really bad squad. I think we are so lacking up top. That game should have been signed, sealed, and delivered by half-time, shouldn't it? We just can't score goals. We are relying on Van der Ven and Romero and Paulinho to score us goals. The weakest set of forwards, I think, I've seen at Spurs. And I hear this all year. I hear this. It's good enough to beat these forwards have never done anything in their careers. Like these are not good forwards. How many chances Tell, Odegaard, Solanke, Simmons, I mean, how many chances do they want? And again, this goes back to, in years gone by, we have been spoilt with Kane and Son. In years gone by, we've been absolutely spoilt. That game would have been done and dusted. We had chance after chance after. We weren't great at all. But the chances were free-flowing. And I never, ever feel like any of these forwards are going to score goals. Even if you look at the goal, Solanke scored midweek, it was a mishit, wasn't it? It never feels like these players are going to score goals. The manager will go if results don't improve. We know that. These players will remain. These forwards will remain. And I'm struggling with it. I've lost the love for watching us play, if I'm brutally honest, because, you know, we were spoiled. Kane, Son, do you know what I mean? Like Eriksen, Dele Alli, we were spoiled. And now I look at our forwards, genuinely look at our forwards and think this is some of the worst forwards I've seen in a Tottenham shirt. And then what happens? People like Odegaard, they have a great game midweek. And people go, oh, see, he's great. Give him a run of games. And then the next game, you're like, he can't do anything. He can't hit a barn door. They never, ever look like scoring. They never look like scoring a goal. And we don't have attacking midfielders that look like they're scoring goals. Obviously, Kulu scores goals. We know that Maddison scores goals. But I genuinely think a lot of people are starting to say to me now, don't get me wrong, there's lots that don't. There's a lot of people that are starting to say to me now that they're seeing what I said in the summer about this attack, about the lack of options, about the fact that we didn't buy to replace our goals and assists. And this is going to be an issue. As I said, I don't care who the manager is. Managers will come, managers will go. But yesterday was another example for me. Another example to me of how have we not, by the 25th of January, signed a couple of forwards? How have we not signed a couple of forwards? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And as I said, I just don't get it. I'm at the stage where I don't know what the club want to do. Like, you know, I've been there for a long time, but I'm watching these forwards and go, surely the manager, the owners, the director of football, the scouts, surely they know we need forwards. Surely. Right? Again, as I said, everyone, you know someone's a fake fan. Why would you want City to batter us? Why would you want to lose? Doesn't make any sense. I never want us to lose. Silly. So where do the goals come from? Like, I'm genuinely concerned as to where the goals come from. Solanke, for me, hasn't got that zip. He hasn't got that clinical goal scorer in him. You know, he hasn't got that when the ball is in and around 20 yards, 30 yards in the 18-yard box. We've had strikers before that you think they're gonna be there, they're gonna latch onto it, they're gonna get a shot away, right? Don't see it. And listen, as I said, guys and girls, as I said, the manager will go because of results. We know that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about once that's done, what are we going to do with the forwards? Are we just going to sit here with any manager and just overlook this? Whoever the manager is, are we just going to overlook how badly we've bought down the years? Or are we just going to look at it? Again, we chose to go into a season with players that don't score goals. We've chosen to go into the season with players that don't score or assist. And we know that will change when Kulu and Maddison come back. We know they can create. We know that they'll grab some goals. We know both of them are good for 10 a season. So there's another 20 goals there. We know that. But I just chance after chance after chance. And you're thinking, someone's got to put some of these chances away. Nope. Just nope. And I don't get it. We can have the Thomas Frank conversation. We will in a minute. But I think most of you have heard me say this all year. This isn't new. I just can't understand how we are on the 25th of January and we have not addressed the forward areas. Sack the manager. I couldn't give a shit, right? I'm so numb to this now. Sack him. Brilliant. Don't care. Don't care either way. But how are we going to find goals? I genuinely don't know how we're finding goals. How many times did we go through against Dortmund? No one can finish their dinner. How many times did we go through clean on goal against Sunderland? No one can finish their dinner. It's mad. We must be the only football club in the summer that lost all of our goals and assists and did nothing. Did nothing. Did nothing to change it. I mean, Mawani is a panic signing, on deadline day. I mean, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, I heard all the excuses, right? But the players we wanted weren't available. We'll do it in January. Now we're in January and it's like, hello, please buy some forwards. I'm seeing Forest buying 2 strikers, right? Aren't Forest buying? They've got was it Luca from Napoli? And I think they're getting Mateta from what I saw yesterday. I don't know. Again, mate, listen, you're just going to be blocked if you lie. Any lies anymore, guys? The channel's shutting down, by the way, at the end of March. So I've got no time. Savva has never once said Gallagher's the answer. Gallagher's a very good player that needs to be in a good team with forwards. Just stop. Just stop. We need forwards badly. Right? We need forwards badly. I don't care. I feel like, honestly, I feel like some people don't have listening skills. Sack the manager. That's fine. I've said that all season. But if we do not buy forwards, we are going to struggle, whoever is in charge. We have no goal scorers in this team. We are wrangling with, that's not the right word. We are banking on Van de Ven and Romero every game. We're banking on them every game. And are we even linked? Are we linked to any forwards? Are we linked to any wingers? Now, that does, as I'll say this again, over and over again, it doesn't mean it won't happen, but the days are ticking down. It's the 25th of January. And again, Ket, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I'm genuinely concerned for the football club moving forward. As I've said, I know people can't get it out. As I said, I don't care who manages our football club. I'm genuinely concerned that we are not buying what we need. I'm genuinely concerned that we're not buying what we need. And whenever I talk to people about this, all I get is frank out. Fine. I don't care about that. sign me some footballers. Because when Frank goes, we're going to be sitting here going, we need forwards. It doesn't matter who's it. We need forwards. We need forwards. And what do we have? 20 shots yesterday? None of them look like scoring, do they? None of them ever look like scoring. Again, you look at Odegaard's career, doesn't score goals, right? Solanke's career, he's had 1 year where he scored goals. 1 year where he scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. I genuinely don't know how the board, and I have not addressed this window. I don't want to hear it's January and tough. Everybody's signing players. Every day, so-and-so's moving here. West Ham have managed to sign 2 forwards in this window. Oh. Sure, Nick. Sure. And how many of those goals were scored by James Maddison, Son, and Kulusevski? Again, using this doesn't cost you any money, Nick. Listen to what we're saying, right? Thank you for bless you. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, that sneeze crept up on me. Again, this isn't about Ange v Frank. This is about our squad. And again, as I said, Alfie, 20 shots. I never feel like anyone's going to score a goal. And I know we always want to make it about one thing. No, Savva, let's not be silly. Savva's not hungover. Didn't drink enough to be hungover, my man. Stop being silly. We always want to make it about one issue. One issue. There's so many issues at this football club. There's so many issues at this football club. And we've been saying for years, what will we do without Kane and Son? What will we do without Kane and Son? You're now seeing that this was not a good team. We had Kane and Son. They carried this for years. Kane's gone. Son got older. We're in a transfer window. Right now, every fan should surely, every fan should surely be saying, where's the signings? Again, Ringo, shut up or you'll get blocked. It's not all about, listen, it's a different forward. I can't do this with trolls like you. It's a different forward line, Ringo. Last year we had Son, James Maddison, Kulusevski. These guys between them, 40 Premier League goals maybe? Something like that. I don't know the exact number. 30 Premier League goals. It's not the same forward line. Always about Ange v Frank. I don't care who the manager is. Listen to what's being saying. There's no 180. Again, for you lot that know Ringo is, people like Ringo are a troll. What did I say in the window? In the summer, we have not bought well. We have not bought forwards. We have not bought well. And I was told over and over and over and over and over again. I was told over and over again, good window. Right? I can't keep doing this. I don't care whether Timmy Mallet is the manager. I don't care if Ryan Mason, Ange, Jose, Frank, I don't care at the moment. If we do not buy forwards, this club is going to struggle moving forward. The club is a mess. Fans hate the manager. The manager's struggling. The players can't score goals. The owners don't seem to be buying what we need. And yet we all want to just go with a point scoring. What's it matter? Spurs are a mess. Where are the forward links? I keep hearing that there's no one available. What a load of nonsense. How is there no one available? I just watched Raspadori sign for Atalanta on loan. That boy walks in our team. I'm just spitballing. I'm not saying we're in for him. Mateta's moving club, isn't he? Tammy Abraham's moved. These are all better than what we've got. These are all better than what we've got. But we're not, seemingly, we're not doing anything about the forward areas. We're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. This is why I said it's going to be a very up and down season. Said this is not going to be a fun season. Anyone who wants to have the Ange comment, just go to another channel. I'm so bored of it. We don't need to talk about Angepostecoglou. It's January. We should be talking about what are we doing in a transfer window. We're just not doing what we need again, are we? We're not doing what we need. Again, it is constant neglect. By the way, something I'm going to mention, I'll talk about a bit later. Again, I don't like it when we have 3 centre-backs on the pitch. I know people have been crying. I don't like it. No need for it. I do not see a need to have that many defenders on the pitch at once. I don't like it. I think we always look better with Van de Ven and Romero at centre half and just playing with a back four. I don't know what we do. Alfie. Absolutely. Alfie, absolutely. It's an understatement. It's neglect. When I called it negligent in the summer, look how I was treated when I said that this was a negligent transfer window. Didn't do what we needed, and it's going to bite us. It's going to bite us hard. I don't know. Like, you know, I feel like I'm becoming immune to it. I'm becoming immune to it. Every window you think, surely this is the window we're going to buy some attackers. Nope. Surely. Nope. Mawani on loan. I mean, like, Tells and Odebers. Again, every game I'm told they're great. Every game I'm watching them going, I don't know really what you do. I thought Odeber was brilliant the other night. But this is what we do, isn't it? We have players who have a brilliant game every now and then, and everyone overrates them. I look at our forwards and I think this is bottom half. These forwards are bottom half. No, sorry, I know some people don't like that, but I've been very consistent with what I think about these forwards. In the summer, not replacing Son was absolutely criminal. It was absolutely criminal. I've got no problem with players leaving the football club. No problem with it at all. But surely you've got to buy. Surely you've got to replace. Solanke's one good season in his career. One good season in his career. Don't worry. We'll pay 60 million, 55 million. Tell. He's done nothing. We'll buy him for 40 million, whatever it was. Odeber's done nothing. We'll buy him for 30 million, whatever it was. I just have no idea who is scouting, who is buying, who is putting together this squad. And look, I said I'm 43 years of age, and in that time, I'm struggling to remember a worse set of forwards. I'm struggling to remember. I'll if anyone has got any ideas of when we had a worse set of forwards, because even when we've had not great forwards, we always had one, didn't we? We always had a Sheringham. You know what I mean? We always had a Sheringham, a Klinsmann, a Kane, a Son, right? A Clive Allen, a Lineker. Like, you know, we had a Bale, we had a Ginola. I'm looking now going, I genuinely don't look at any of them. Jimbo, just going to get blocked. I don't do children in this channel. You hounded Ange out. No, Ange was sacked because he lost 26 games in a year. Football fans don't hand him out. Again, I don't know if people are just dumb on purpose. As I said, the manager will go. The results are terrible. The manager will go. We know this. But when the manager goes and the results don't improve overall, when are we actually going to look at the bigger issue at the football club? When are we going to look at the bigger issue? When? I don't know. What happens is, like next week, when we play Man City or we play Frankfurt, somebody like a Teller or an Odeberg will grab a goal. People will go, there you go. See, they are good. These are not good enough. These are not good enough players. Solanke's okay. He's okay, isn't he? He's okay. But how have we gone? How have we gone from Kane and Son and Kulu and Maddison to this? Again, Simon, yeah, we're not, it's easier, right? We're not allowed to mention all things. People just want to talk about Frank. I don't care about Thomas Frank. Do you know what? The best thing that can happen for him, no, Ringo, you don't get called unrealistic. If and when Adam Wharton becomes available, I just think that bigger clubs will go in for him. If they don't, we will get him. If the bigger clubs come in for him, I think he will go there. I don't understand why you don't get that. You could go to another channel and watch, couldn't you? Don't come onto my channel and tell me to stop it. I can talk about what I want. It's really exhausting. It's just too many trolls, aren't there? It's too many trolls like this. Too many idiots. Too many idiots like this. As I said, I would at least like to see. Look at that game yesterday. Right? Look at that game yesterday. Son and Kane are in that game. What's the score of that game yesterday? We don't draw that. We win that. We win that, don't we? Right? We win that, don't we? We win that. With proper forwards, you win that game. Everyone's seen the bigger picture. It's why people have been protesting against Levy and Enoch. It's just people like you are so. I'm guessing you're Australian because this is all that we're getting. Ange. Oh my God. Just because Frank isn't working out doesn't make Ange a good manager. I don't understand how some of these people have got through life. I genuinely can't get it. I genuinely every day, Ange. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know, Frank. I don't know. As I said, managers will come and go. I mean, we look, depending on your age, how many managers have we seen? I don't care anymore. Like, I genuinely don't care who manages this football club, right? If we don't sort out the squad, nothing's changing in the bigger picture. I just don't care. We might go up a few places in the league, but what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? Agreed. Imagine a Teddy Sheringham was playing in that game, a Klinsmann, a Bale, you know, that game's done. When I keep hearing, we're better than them, we can't score goals. Our forwards don't score goals. They don't score goals. I know, Adiz, it's almost like I know that the revisionism from last year is truly worrying. It's so worrying. People go, gutted. Ange, you wanted Ange out. Yes, because we finished 17th. If we finish 17th this year, Frank will need to go. Yes, this is not rocket science. This is not rocket science, what's happening at this football club. If you do not have goal scorers, you do not score goals. This is basics of football, right? This is the basics of football. And we're sitting here again. Is that why he finished 17th for 22 defeats? Completely agree, Darryl. I completely agree with you. So I'm going to bring Stella on in a minute. I completely agree with you. It's always the way. This isn't Spurs, by the way. Everyone will sack, and there's no problem with sacking. But are we actually going to... Are we actually going to buy what we need? Are we going to buy what we need? Now, the summer, like, I'm constantly hearing, oh, no, there's no one about. There's no left wingers about. There's no strikers. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? An apology video. Look at the fucking state of these twats. An apology video. So do I get an apology for all the fans who told me you had a really good summer? Not how it works, really, is it? Did he? I just watched this boy mess up chance after chance. Did he? Did he play well? No, that's not why I'm shut. I'm just bored of it, mate. Again, idiots like this. Keep seeing dickheads like this that will lie to you and tell you why. I'm just bored of it, mate. Just bored of it. Because people are coming for me. I just find the whole thing very childish and a bit boring now, mate. Because of people like you. God, I mean, I thought it was bad in the days of Dizelle and Fox, right? But they've had years. They've had years to sort out Kane going, Son going. They've had years to sort this shit out. Years, and they haven't. And our fans go, oh, this squad's much better. Is it? Take out Kane and Son. What's good about this squad? What about this squad is that great? When you take out Maddison, when you take out Kane and Son, I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe that's just me. I just don't care. As I've said, I just don't care. Frank will go, and we're going to have the same discussion. Frank will go. I've got no doubt. No manager survives this many poor results. He's going to go. I don't know when, but he will go. And when he goes, I'll be sitting here saying the same thing. Where are the signings? Where are the forwards? Agreed. If Poch comes back, I'm going to say, where are the forwards for Pochettino? It's just, you know, I think Friday kind of summed it up for me. People losing their mind over an Andy Robertson. This squad needs goal scorers. This squad needs leaders. This squad needs men and winners. And we're all going, I can't believe it. Everyone now as well, you look on X, everyone is a tactico. Everyone going, oh, well, I wouldn't buy this player because of the diamond shape and the formations and the parts. Oh, you need good players. You've got to buy good players. Can disagree all you want. He lost 22 games. He lost 26 games in a year. Disagree all you want. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. All over the pitch, Spurs are a mess. Oh, you're just going to get blocked now, aren't you, for being a dickhead? Bye, Plasma. Paul, it's mental, isn't it? This is so one of the reasons, as I said, one of the reasons why I am moving away from YouTube. Look how pathetic it is. Idiots like Plasma, idiots. Oh, can we have an apology? For what? What is one fan apologizing about? It's ridiculous. People used to be able to have conversations. I don't know. I don't know. As I said, no game that I'm watching changes my mind. Who's messaged me? Someone's messaged me. Someone sent me a thing on Buy Me a Coffee. It said, I don't always see eye to eye with you, but thanks for calling out the shit players we have, rather than like most other YouTubers blaming Frank. Don't shut the channel down. I know you're on X incognito. No, I'm not. No. Again, people just seem to make things up. No, can't think of anything worse. I don't know what we do here. I don't know where we go from here as a club. I don't know where we go from here. We're not buying what we need. We're going to float from manager to manager, not buying what we need. I don't get it. I did a video at the beginning of the window. Back him or sack him. Back him or sack him. You can't have some hybrid of the two. We can't have some hybrid of the two. You've got to back the guy or sack the guy. It can't just be floating from transfer window to transfer window, not doing what we need. As I said, I've got no problem with Gallagher, no problem with Andy Robertson. But along with that, where are the forwards? When are we going to buy the exciting players, the goal scorers? I'll say I made an error when I actually see him backed. When I see him backed, if you actually listen to what I said in the summer, and this is the difficulty that I think a lot of the children who go, oh, we need apologies. What I actually said in the summer is, I want to see Frank come in. I want to see him given 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. I want to see him being given a number of years to get rid of the deadwood, bring in his own players, bring in leaders, bring in forwards. Then I want to see where Spurs are. I never said, oh, I want a manager to have 6 months. I don't know why anyone thought loads was going to change with that transfer window we had. I don't know why anyone thought that it was just going to be amazing in year one. Yeah, Ramos won us a trophy. I don't see him getting the hype that Ange gets. I don't see him. Ramos won us, yeah. Again, mate, you're just going to be blocked if you keep saying stupid stuff, mate. You're just going to be blocked, aren't you? You're just going to be blocked. Do you know how many things I get sent a day off X? I don't need to be on it. I get sent every day. Have you seen this? You've seen this? You see it. It's like, oh my God. Every day. I don't know. I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go from here. 25th of January. The 25th of January. Why are we not signing forwards? Chance after chance against Dortmund. Chance after chance yesterday. We can't finish our dinner. And this will sum Spurs up. This will sum Spurs up. Sacking him when the window closes. They'll do it when the window closes, because then there's no accountability on them, is there? For me, there's a lot of blame pie at this football club. All over the building, there's blame pie. But right now, it's easier to blame the bloke that's been there the shortest time. Of all the people at this club, Frank's been there 6 months. He gets blamed, sure. But the most blame should be upstairs, shouldn't it? I've said this time and time again. when we change the manager, if nothing changes, who do we then blame it on? Like, who do we blame this on? And this isn't about drawing with Burnley, is it? This isn't about drawing with Burnley. This is the bigger picture. I was out with a friend last night who said to me, he said, I'm just done with football now. I said, why are you done with football? And he said, because now, he said, people used to have time to build something. He said, now there is so much over-analysis and everyone throws their knickers. Everyone throws their knickers out the window every time a bad run happens, every time a bad bit of form. Get the next guy in, get the next guy in, get the next guy in. He said, who in the league right now is happy with their manager? Liverpool wants Slot out. He just won a league title. There's been times this year where Newcastle fans wanted Eddie Howe out. Chelsea fans wanted Maresca out. Man United wanted Amorim out. Spurs want Frank out. Wolves wanted Vitor Pereira out. West Ham wanted Potter out. Bournemouth fans got annoyed with Iriola. Again, I can't keep dealing with it because Ange had 2 years, £400 million, 4 windows, and a whole year where there was no Europe. Frank's had 6 months. We know he won't get backed. I don't think the next guy will get backed either. It's always the easy option. We are in a position where 6 different managers, 3 different directors of football, and 6 different managers have put together this squad. And then we're going to go, right, let's get the next guy in. Now you pick up the squad. Now manager number 7 is going to take hold of all these players. That, you know, again, mate, one more, you're gone. Not what I said. One more, you're gone. One more, you're gone. One more, you're gone. Again, you're going to go into, look, dude, this is a grown-up channel. We don't do cooking. Grow the fuck up. Like, grow up. Cool. Aaron, so let's apply this to every manager then. Let's apply this to every manager. If we give every manager 6 months with the same squad, how on earth are we ever going to build anything? How are we going to... If that's the case, right? Let's be brutally honest here, people. If this is the case, that we're sitting here and admitting to ourselves as a fan base that no one's going to get backed and that managers get 6 months, why do we even talk about it? Why do we even talk about it? What's the point? What is the point? If we all acknowledge, then what is the point? If we all acknowledge that. Why acknowledge it? Look, how long has Silva had at Fulham? How long's Iriola had at Bournemouth? How long's Hertzler had at Brighton? How long's Arteta had at Arsenal? How long's Emery had at Villa? Could keep this, but we want to. I genuinely, as I said, sack him, cool. But are we going to back the next guy? Can we back someone? Can we buy what we need? Maybe. That's why I'm just getting a little bit bored and losing the will for it. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, morning, afternoon. I don't even know what time it is. I've just woken up. I'm knackered.
It's 1:45 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's the afternoon. It's the afternoon. How was Burnley? Was it nice and warm and sunny?
It's freezing cold. It was horrible. long to get there. They shut the M1 on the way back, which meant we had to go on the B roads. The B roads were flooded because it started raining, so we had to find. Mate, I didn't get home till 2 a.m.
Oh gosh.
The game finished at 5. The game finished at 5.
I went out and I got in at 1 a.m. I was out. Yeah, look, going around in circles, this football club, isn't it? We're just going around in circles.
It's finished, man.
Still, I want to ask you this. I want to genuinely, where do we go from? Like genuinely, where do we go from here? Like, what do we do? Because this whole thing's a mess, right? What do we do?
I drove past quite a few stadiums on the way up there. There's a lot of other clubs we can support, Savva. I'm thinking we just change allegiance and just move across to the dark side. just support a team like Burnley. The whole town comes out to support them. They've got one burger stand. The expectations are low. They're just happy to be in the Premier League. It's great. It's such a great club to support. You really can't go wrong. I think the season ticket's 300 quid a year.
My local team, Bromley, scored a last minute winner yesterday to go top of League 2. So hopefully they're gonna go to League 1. They were a non-league club 2 years ago. So I'm close to joining Bromley. I'll be honest, I'm close to joining Bromley. Mate, it's look, I'm at this. Look, we talk privately away from this as well, and you know where I'm at with all of this. I've just lost the love for it all. I've lost the will, and nothing's changing. He will get sacked. I think we know that still. That the result you can't keep having these results. But is there genuinely a manager that's going to come in that we are going to back? Are the board going to back anyone, or are we literally on repeat?
I don't think this board knows what it's doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't get it. Let's go back to the summer. So Levy was managed out, or he stepped down, whatever you want to call it. In comes Vinay as the chairman with no chairman experience. Charrington comes in, this mysterious financial wizard who's going to help us raise money for this, that, and the other. Lange is still at the club. Paratici comes to double up with him, and apparently Joe Lewis's kids are more involved now. I mean, I don't know what they know about football. And now we're hearing this other name, Nick, who is the CEO of Tavistock, the property company of Joe Lewis.
Yeah. And
he's involved now, and he's directing things. I mean, he's a property tycoon. What does he know about football? So you look at it and you think, who's actually a football person here? Like genuine footballing background. There's none. Right. They then go through this rigorous process, this intensive process of trying to figure out what manager meets the criteria to take Tottenham forward. And they've gone through 30 managers, and Frank was the one that they came up with. Okay. Then, if that's the case, if Frank is what your model has told you is the answer, surely you need to back that model. You need to back the model if that's the guy that you don't want.
Yeah.
Or this model is flawed and you don't know what the hell you were looking for. One of the two has to be right. So if he's the right guy, then I don't understand how signing a 19-year-old left back, a 31-year-old left back, and a midfielder who plays more in a 6/8 fixes any of the problems of putting the ball in the back of the net, which is our biggest issue. Our biggest issue is putting the ball in the back of the net. Van der Ven and Romero are carrying the football club. Without Van der Ven and Romero, we are going down. 100% we're going down.
Are they the best goal-scoring defenders in the world? I think literally every game at the moment, when the ball goes into the box, I think, get it to Van der Ven, get it to Romero. Whenever it goes near Odegaard or Tell or Simmons or Solanke, I just think, This isn't ending in a goal still. This is not ending in a goal.
I think we should just play Dragusin and Danzo at the back. So put Van der Ven and Romero up front, Danzo and Dragusin at the back, and we'll be all right. But the point is, this transfer window does not support the manager if this is your plan. Now, if this isn't the plan and you've got it wrong, then why haven't you sacked him? Why is he still at this club? What the hell are you doing? Because we are going into a relegation battle if this continues, and it is continuing. So if it is your plan, you're not backing him. And if this isn't the plan or it's not working, you're not making a big decision to fix it. This is why I say, Savva, they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing, because either way, they're getting it wrong. Either direction you want to look at it. Whether you're Frank in or Frank out, they're getting this wrong.
Mate, I said at the beginning of the window, you got to sack or back, right? We can't exist in this kind of halfway house. If you're going to sack him, bring in a guy you want and back him. If you're not going to sack him, give him the tools he needs. But right now, we're kind of existing in this world of we're not doing either. Yesterday, what was it? 20 shots. We can't score goals. We can't score goals, right? Look, our goalkeeper. I don't know what you think of Vicario. I think Vicario is awful.
He's
right?
clumsy.
We're conceding goals now. We've not got the right balance in midfield. We've got no attackers that you would go like. Look, you're similar age to me. You've seen Waddle, Hoddle, Gaza, Ginola, Bale, Van der Vaart, Klinsmann, Sheringham, Lineker, Clive, Kane, Son. We're now watching these players up front, and then we're going, why aren't we? That game yesterday, if Kane and Son were up top the Spurs yesterday, don't matter how bad we played, we would have won that game by half time. Game would have been done by half time.
We were the better team first half. We were all over them.
So that begs the question, why is it the 25th of January and the one thing we are not linked with are forwards? Why? What?
But see, this is why I haven't got excited about signing Sousa, Gallagher or Robertson, because I know right now, not long-term planning, long-term building, right now, we need goal scorers. I said, I don't care if you sign strikers, left wingers, right wingers, number 10s, whatever attacking position we bring in, I don't care. They have to be able to score goals. So when we had Heung-min Son, he could play left wing and create chances, but he also scored 10 goals a season, 12 goals a season. So we need a Lookman, a Semenyo, the one that's gone to Man City. We need someone that can cause problems when attacking, but he has got to be able to score. And we haven't done that. Robertson, Gallagher, Sousa, none of them address the biggest issue we've got. No one can put the ball in the back of the net.
But do you know what we're missing very good? See, I'm slightly different to you. I agree with you, but I'm slightly different in terms of I've got no problem with them buying Robertson or Gallagher, because let's be fair, what we're very good at is, a problem's happened, let's replace. So Davis has got injured for the season. Adogi's injury prone. Right, let's bring in a left back. Fine. Gallagher, replacing Bentancur. Fine. But it's the proactive side of it, mate, that I struggle with. That's all well and good replacing, but where's the proactive going into this window? We all knew we needed forwards. So I've got no problem if you're buying Andy Robertson for 3 to 5 million, but why can we not buy forward at the same time? Why have we always got to do either or? Why can't we? I'm at a loss with this football club. I truly am. I'm at a loss.
Listen, Savva, there's no way we're going to go and sign 4 or 5 players in this window. We were already going to sign a couple, and those couple all had to be attackers, in my view, because at the end of the day, we probably need another midfielder because we've got Bentancur out, and Ben Davies out. I get it all, but you know what? Spence can go left back if he has to. We can whether we like it or not, we can play Archie Gray in that midfield, or we can potentially use Basuma now that he's back. So there are some options. They might not be great, but they're options. We have nothing up top that scores goals consistently. Nothing. That was the biggest thing that had to be addressed for me, because at least then we won't get relegated. And fans were saying to me yesterday at Burnley, "Oh, come on, mate, we're not getting relegated." I said, "Guys, West Ham have won today. They can smell blood. They can smell a way out of this now. After beating us, and today, which was yesterday when they beat Sunderland, they can smell an opportunity. Nuno is not a mug. Nuno's not this dog shit manager. And if Burnley keep, getting the odd draw, they might smell an opportunity. We don't want to open that door. Now we're going into February, and this is the reality of it. Let's say West Ham win 2 games next month, and we don't. Suddenly, 8 points becomes 6, becomes 2 or 3. Right. If you're only 2 or 3 points at the start of March above relegation, you are in a relegation fight. Who do you want as manager for a relegation fight? Nuno or Frank? What players do you want in a relegation fight? West Ham's or our players, where only 2 players in the squad really have got bollocks. There's only 2 players at Spurs that have got the bollocks for a relegation.
But that's why, right? That's
we can't get into
in a backwards way. That's why he wants Robertson, Gallagher. I think he's trying to get people with a bit more mental toughness. But to your point there, let's have a look at this, right? The first point
Savva, so basically we're signing players in preparation for a relegation fight.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No. In general, we need mental toughness. In general, we have got far too many players that when the going gets tough, they absolutely sink. It doesn't matter who the manager is. They just, my light's just gone out. They absolutely sink and drown. There's no mental toughness at all. Now, Andy Robertson is a winner, right? He's the captain of Scotland. He's won Premier Leagues, Champions League. Conor Gallagher's played for top managers. He's a winner. But where are the forwards? Right now, if Spurs had anything about them in this last, 6-7 days of the window left? I think 7 maybe. Spurs right now are bringing 2 forwards. Right? Aston Villa are bringing in forwards. West Ham are bringing in forwards. Forest are bringing in forwards. All of the teams that are struggling are bringing in forwards. Why?
Yeah,
because goals win you games.
Savva, they can smell blood, right?
Agreed.
Like if you're a manager in the bottom 6 and you're having mid-season conversations with the board, you're saying, they're saying, look, reality, where are we? Can we stay up? Are we done? Is there anything we can do to help you to try and stay up? And they're saying, guys, that Tottenham are in freefall. They're in absolute freefall.
Yeah.
They finished 17th last year. They're heading in the same direction this year.
Yep.
But if we could do this and that in the transfer window, we might be able to pounce on them. So this is what I'm saying to you. They can smell blood. They can all smell blood.
I agree.
And we are,
with our February, especially with our February coming up, it's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be, I'm seeing people say things like, oh, I want to lose to Man City so Arsenal don't win a title. Guys and girls, what are you doing? we need points. We need points and fast. We need points. We are 8 points off relegation at the moment. And you're right. That can change very, very quickly. But don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, the 2 forwards West Ham signed are amazing, but it's given them options. It's given them bodies. It's given them something fresh, new legs. And what are we doing? What are we doing? We're having to play Jed Spence on the left wing because we've not brought forwards. And everyone lost their mind after how good he was against Dortmund. The answer is not playing right backs at left wing. The answer is go and buy a left winger. And I don't want to hear that there's no one available. That's their job. Their job for the last year has been scout the players that are going to be available. That's their job.
It's clear to me. It's clear to me, very, very clear to me. There was no plan going into this window. Because if you look at the signings we're making, they're all opportunistic. And even Frank said it in his interview. When we sold Brennan Johnson, sometimes opportunities arise and you need to take them when you can. So Frank's saying it's about opportunities. And our board is behaving opportunistic. The only reason we've got Gallagher is because we sold Johnson, and the price we sold Johnson matched the price we were going to buy Gallagher for, and he wasn't playing at Atletico Madrid. Sousa, he's a kid, unknown, no pedigree. Maybe he's good, maybe he's not. Our track record says he's not going to be good because that's what happens when we sign most youngsters. And as for Robertson, again, opportunistic. But we might not even get him because if Kirkes is injured now, they need Robertson. Liverpool need him. So let's see if we even get him. These are all opportunistic. Can we make it work? It kind of fits the doing it on a cheap. we're not proactively saying, hello, yes, that player you've got, Lookman, how much? We want 60 million. Right, done. We're not doing that. We're looking for these opportunities. Robertson, 5 million. Sousa, 13 million. Conor Gallagher, well, effectively, he was free because we sold Johnson to pay for it. There's no plan. This is everything I was worried about. It's the same pattern I've seen for the last 8-9 years. It's the exact same pattern. There isn't an aggressive, proactive, like you say, proactive.
But
well
this is why I don't care, mate.
Window.
This is why when people are going, oh, Ange, oh, Frank, oh, Jose, oh, Con, like I don't care anymore, mate. You could put Ryan Mason in charge. If they don't start buying properly, what is it that we're actually? What are we hoping for? What, to get up to mid-table, to finish 8th? I don't like what are we actually working towards as a club right now? Because you called it right. These are the people in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, these are the people in charge of Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
A banker, an accountant, an investment banker, and an aviation executive, right? Now, here's the goals this season in the Premier League. Ready? For anyone who keeps telling me these players are better, these are the goals in the Premier League, right? Look at the first, after Richarlison, the next 3 are 2 centre-halves and a holding midfielder, right? Look, Wilson Odobert, 21 games, no goals. 21 games, no goals. And yet I'm told, oh, don't be so harsh on him. But that's what... Randall Kolo Muani, 15 Premier League games, no goals. Bergvall, 17 Premier League games, 1 goal. Simmons, 1 goal. Like, this is... Kudus, 2 goals. This is shocking, right?
Yeah, the one thing I will say is they're not the level we need, but we could get... I do believe we could get a bit more out of them, but the issue we've got is there's no consistency. Like, 1 week they start, next week they don't. 1 week they start, next week they don't. 1 minute you're in the Champions League team, then you're pulled out, then you're back in. So there is a lack of consistency in the way we give them minutes as well, which makes their job harder. I guess Solanke gets a pass because he's been out injured for so long, but there is a lack of consistency in how they're. I'll give you an example: the amount of minutes Muani's been given this season. How does he get all those minutes when he's scoring no goals and other players don't get those minutes to at least try and show that they can score goals?
He's paid 175 grand a week, right?
Well, that's not good enough. That can't be the reason.
I agree.
We play him. You know, when we signed him, Johnny, Lubo, and I were having massive arguments over Muani. I said, guys, I think he's not good enough in front of goal. I don't think he's good enough in front of goal. Maybe as a creative, yes, but in front of goal, I'm not seeing it. And now they're all saying, you know, we feel let down by him. I said, I wasn't let down because I never saw it. I can see, I could look, that said, we do have a massive problem with the players up front in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. I think whatever happens, they've got to get rid of Frank as well, Savva. And the reason I say that is number one. Well, let's see. I don't know. I think they might keep him. You can't survive a run of results like this. I don't care what your name is. I don't care if your name's Pep Guardiola. You can't survive a run of results like this. As I've said, my issue isn't that he's going to go. That's not my issue. My issue is this board. You can see this a million miles off still. We're going to have a pathetic ending to the transfer window. And then what they'll do is they'll sack him when he loses a couple in Feb, when we can't actually do anything to give a new manager any players. This is so... How many times have you seen this script? How many times have you seen this movie? We will sit there with what they're doing. Whether Frank's good enough or not, this is just another manager that's going to come, going to go, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to get to summer and no plan. And then we'll all go, oh, what a good window. But I don't know. I agree, which is why I went to the ENIC out protest where a solid 100 people turned up. But this is part of my issue, though. I'm sitting in the away terraces yesterday at Burnley, and everyone's booing, we want Frank out, say we want Frank out, you're getting sacked in the morning. And then during the game, they're singing sideways and backwards, everywhere we go. So you're hearing this the whole game. So the fans have gone, the away fans have gone, they're like, look, just get rid of the manager. But here's the issue. It's all good and well, thousands of fans in the terraces going after the manager. I've got no issue with that. My issue is, if you feel that strongly about change, why do only 100 of you turn up at a protest? This is so, you can't have it both ways.
But like, how many of those people? How many of those people though? And this is why when I try and say,
who hires the manager? Who hires the manager?
I agree. I completely agree with you. But
it goes back to the board.
Because I've not just gone, just because every one of my shows isn't Frank. I'm saying there's a blame pie, right? There's blame to go around everywhere.
Yeah, there is.
But I think a lot of fans are in the headspace of they're not seeing that nothing's changing, no matter who the manager is. I've hit a brick wall with it. I've hit the brick wall of, cool, sack him, bring in, who are you going to bring in? All right, we're bringing Xavi Hernandez, who I really like, right? What are we going to do? Expect him to play football with these midfielders. What are we going to do? Say, go on, get loads of goals with these forwards. I don't think enough people want to put the blame at the top. I genuinely don't. I don't think... How many people last week, right? How many people last week I was speaking to in the stand were just going, oh, get Poch back. Because everyone thinks that that's going to solve everything. Get Poch back. Cool. But you know what I'm going to say? What's the plan? You can bring the man in, but what's the plan? And they haven't got one. That's why Frank is still in the job still. Frank is still in the job because they know they don't have a plan. There's no football plan. So what are we judging him against? What was his remit at the beginning of the season? Realistically, what was his remit?
I think they're keeping Frank just to prove a point that they do have a plan when they know that their plan has failed. Because the plan that they had in the beginning didn't make sense. They haven't thought this out. They haven't taken accountability for the damage they've done in the last 25 years. They haven't owned that. Until they accept that they are the problem and that's what needs to change. No plan they build will work. You're seeing it. You're seeing it with this transfer window. This transfer window is shambolic. It's absolutely ridiculous what we're doing. You know, half this squad needs to go. This manager needs to go. The medical department need to go. The recruitment team need to go. And I would say most of the board need updating with footballing people or modern individuals that are going to take us forward in the modern era. None of that is happening. None of it. And it starts at the top. It always starts at the top because that's what decides what the plan is. That's what decides the direction we're going to go in. That's what decides the big decisions as who's the head medical officer, who's the head of recruitment, who is the head manager, these big employment decisions are made at the top. They choose. And if they get that right, at least you know the club will be okay.
Agreed. See, I got to 2025 and I thought, okay, right. They've sacked Ange. New owners, still the same owners, but a new version of the owners. New medical team came in, new coach. You're thinking, okay, right, show us a plan. And when I didn't see a plan, that's where I went, I'm done. Everyone can argue all they want, Ange v. Frank. I don't care. I'm done. Until I see a plan, I don't care who the manager of this football club is. And what I've been saying, mate, is sack Frank, but it can't, and this is really, it can't just be Frank. You can sack Frank, but you're right, medical team, scouts, director of, it's all got to change. The whole thing has to change. And what they will do, they will sack Frank at some point. I don't know when. They will sack him. And it will give a bit of feel-good factor to the fan base for, I don't know, 5-6 games. And my worry is that we're going to be sitting here in the summer, right? Having the same conversations. We're going to be having the same conversations. Why can't we get a left winger? Why haven't we bought a striker? Why are we buying these cheap players? I genuinely don't know how it changes now. And I'm genuinely, look Like me and you, we'd fight like cats and dogs about this. Now I just feel like I can see it in you. It's just so drained. Like, what's the point? Like, what are we actually arguing? Not me and you, but what are we actually arguing anymore with Spurs? I don't know what we're actually arguing. You know, it's just a mess.
Do you know, yesterday at Burnley, I was caught on camera. This has become a big thing. Apparently, I didn't know any of this. Apparently, at 2-1 down, I was smiling, and I thought, well, we were 2-1 down, and we brought on Archie Gray. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to laugh, cry, shout? I'm thinking, this isn't happening. Like, we're bringing on a defensive mid, and we're 2-1 down. You know, I think if you get rid of Frank, I think two things will happen. One, it changes the environment short term. So whatever vibe is going on, it just gets rid of that, and it just maybe brings a bit more positive energy for the next month. Okay. The second thing it does is, I just feel at the moment, and I saw something against Burnley. There was like a 20-30 minute patch in the second half where Burnley, they were popping the ball around. They were. Some of their 1-2 touch passing at time, I thought, do you know what? Scotty Parker's got them moving the ball. They just don't have the quality on the pitch, but they move the ball nice. And I thought, we need a manager that's going to get us moving the ball like that. We need someone that's just going to get us, because I think that's what fans want. They want to see that brand. And I've had this argument many times with fans. Do you want sexy football or do you want winning football? If you want both, then you need to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions on quality players. You're not going to do it unless you do that. If you just want a nice brand of football with this bunch, then you need a manager that plays that style. So, and you might not win games doing that, by the way, but you'll get the brand. And I thought Burnley were moving the ball around quite nicely. You know, Marcus Edwards receiving the ball in the middle of the pitch on the half turn, turns acres of space, can ping the ball around. I thought, you know, he's good, but we're making him look really good. This is a nonsense. So I think that's why they need to remove Frank, because that all has to change, and that's not going to change with Frank. He's got his way and whatnot. Sure. But will we win games and put points on the board? I don't know. I don't know, because we still haven't. We don't put the ball in the back of the net. This is our biggest issue, and that partly comes down to inconsistency of team selection, but mostly because we just don't have goal scorers. We don't have a player that you know, they get a chance, bang, back of the net.
Yeah. Like it's going to be a Robbie Keane, you know, those types of players, you know, just
even Solanke's not that. I mean, he scored a clumsy goal against Dortmund. It bounced off two of his ankles and into the back of the net. He didn't even know it was in the net. He had a really good chance, actually. He had a really good chance to put us 2-1 up. And he's headed the ball straight into the goalie's hands. And I'm thinking, mate, a top striker, you're not missing from 4 yards out. Come on, what are we doing?
Surely the other question, the other question.
I can't believe we haven't signed a goal scorer. I can't believe we haven't done it.
I mean, and that is where you got to go big. That is where you've got to go big. And right, we want this player. Well, you can't have him until the summer. How much to take him now? Is it going to be 20 million more than you want? Fine, let's take. But the big question is going to be this. Does anyone trust that we're going to get the next appointment right? Because when you look at Vinay, you look at Lang, you look at this club, we're all sitting here saying, get the manager out, and that's fair enough. But are we trusting that the next appointment is going to be right? Are big names going to want to come here now? It's a big job.
I think, and I'm only saying it because the fans were singing his name. I think a lot of fans want Pochettino back. I think they want Poch, and I'm on the fence with Poch because one, I like the idea that he understands the club. We know what brand of football he plays. He was the happiest we've been in a very, 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 very long time when he was the manager, and he wants it as well. Like he wants it. He wants this second bite of the cherry. He said it when he left. What I'm not sure about is, are we going to bring in the caliber of players that we brought in for him? And
Agreed.
Is Pochettino the Pochettino of when he was at Spurs? Is he that Poch? I don't know, because he's been a bit indifferent when he's been at other clubs. He's not quite been that same Poch. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with Poch. I'm on the fence with it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm not against it. But I'm not.
As I said, yeah, I'm not against it. I'm at the stage though. I genuinely don't care who the next manager is. But do you think there's a little bit of, when Poch was here before, right time, right manager, right players, right circumstances? And I think a lot of fans, are going to expect that again. And I don't think that lightning strikes twice like that. That's my true worry, is that it all clicked into place at the right time. He coached brilliantly. You know, some very good players like Eriksen were just coming into their own, and he got the best out of him and the best out of Son and Kane. And does that happen again? Do you give Pochettino, Solanke and Tell and Odegaard and these players, and suddenly we're going, oh God, this is Poch 2.0? I don't think we do, mate. I think this is more a nostalgic thing from the fans and the club. And the owner, you know why the owners will do it, mate? The owners will do it because it's pulling a rabbit out of a hat. I've said this before. When we sacked Pochettino, they pulled a rabbit out of the hat by saying, hey, here's Jose Mourinho, one of the greatest managers that's ever lived. When they messed up with Nuno, they went, hey, here's Antonio Conte, one of the best managers in the world at that time. They're going to do it again. Hey, here's Pochettino. You know, it's misdirection. Don't worry about how bad we're running the club. We're giving the fans what they want, and fans will go, yes, Poch is back. See, the owners do care. I don't know. It's masquerading it for me.
I would only bring him back if he has a proper sit down with the board, a proper man-to-man chat about a proper plan, a real plan, one that actually is backed, that he gets to lead, maybe bring back Mitchell to work with him, rebuild the recruitment team the way Poch wants it. But again, like I said it from day one, when I saw Vinay come to this club, my heart sank. I'm like, no, why? When I saw Charrington, I thought, oh my God, you look like an absolute, he looks like a bank clerk. Like, what kind of energy are you going to give us? Like, really? Is that where we're at? And then, Lange is so uninspiring. You just feel like he does as he's told. He's not going to challenge the boys. Lange isn't the kind of character that's going to say, look, guys, I get what you're asking me to do, but do you know what you want? Are you understanding what the outcome's going to be if I do what you say? I believe this needs to happen, not what you're saying. Is he going to have that conversation, or is he going to be, well, you bring some really good points to the table, and I understand what you're saying. Is there any possibility that we could maybe maneuver a bit about that? Or should we just do what you... He's one of those, he's going to tread delicately, be really corporate and diplomatic. Mate, we're past that. We need serious people that come in and say, guys, look, respect to you. You built a wonderful business here, but you're a footballing joke. The world's laughing at you. No one wants to come here. If you want to fix it, you need to listen to me and you need to get real about it. And that's where we're at. They don't want someone like that. That scares them. That petrifies them. And that's the problem. They've got
to. They have got to. As I said, I don't care about managers. They have to bring in a guy at the top of this club, like the way, Man City went and got, what's his name? Tiggy, is it Buckenstein? I can never pronounce his name.
He built the Barcelona Academy up,
Got about 15 Zs and Xs in his name. But they brought him in and he oversaw the club. Like he oversaw everything football, and everyone went, yeah, this guy's world class. You look at Spurs, who's doing that? Who's doing that? And that's why, for me, I think a lot of people aren't listening to what I'm saying.
It's Lange.
Well, I mean,
it's Lange.
There's no aura around him. There's no aura at all, is there? For years we've mocked bigger clubs for doing things and spending money and breaking rules and all this. I want Spurs to be that big club. I want Spurs to be that big club that turn around and go, this hasn't worked, let's implement something new. But what we will do is we'll do the easy thing. We will just sack the manager. Nothing else will change. And as I've said, sack him. But if we don't change anything else at the top, I don't know what the aim of the club is, mate. What 7th next year? 8th? Like what's the actual goal and purpose of what they're trying to do?
I've told you, they don't know what they don't know what they're doing. They have. I went on a YouTube show last night after the game. 10 minutes. I called in and I said, and it got clipped. I said they're clueless. They're absolutely clueless. They thought they were going to come in. Yeah, we're going to revolutionise it. We're going to give you what you want, and then they've realised how it actually works and that they don't know how it works. Oh, there's that. Oh, you actually need football people to do football things, and we can't have that because then we get told how to do our jobs, and we're not going to be told how to do our jobs.
Yeah.
And they put themselves in this conundrum. Look, Savva, the reality is this. The reality is this. If we do not bring in, and someone mentioned it in the chat, I've mentioned his name many times in the past, if we don't bring in a Ralph Rangnick type character who has got pedigree in building footballing organisations and a network that supports that, and let him run the entire show, nothing's going to change. Nothing will ever change. We've tried to do it with the Arnesons and the Kamolis, the Paraticis and the Mitchells, but it always collapses at the point of where, right, are we now going to back that? Are we genuinely now going to back it? And the answer is no. So they end up leaving because they're disheartened, or they get sacked, or they get their agent to find them a better job elsewhere where they can have that freedom to do what they want. And that's and eventually that will happen with Lange. He'll be moved on at some point because the transfers are unacceptable. And then the next victim will come in. He'll be praised as, oh yeah, we've just hired this guy. We nabbed him from Atletico Madrid, or look what he did at Napoli, and then 2-3 years later, everyone will be saying, what does he do? What is this data analysis model that we were supposed to be following? I thought this was going to make us like Brighton. What's happened to that? We need a Ralph Rangnick type person, or someone of that ilk. We need someone of that caliber to come into Spurs and be given complete control of building it. Let them do their job.
I completely agree, and that is why I've lost all passion for the club until they implement that. You know, they've had a chance here for me in the summer and now in this transfer window to make a real big signing, right? To really show, do you know what I mean? Show us, just show us that you're willing to really put your balls on the block here, right? You know, and they haven't, right? They've had a chance to implement a plan, and they haven't. They keep talking about a plan. We keep hearing about it, don't we? Like Vinay comes out and says, well, with the structure we're implementing, all I'm seeing is men in suits, loads and loads of men in suits, loads of this person's coming in because he does negotiations. This person's coming in because he's a banker. This person, but where's the guy that comes in the tracksuit? Where's Ralph Rangnick? Yeah, go and get Rangnick and Nagelsmann, for example. Bring them in together. Tell the fans, right, guys, this is our new structure. Ralph Rangnick's coming in, right? He's going to be given the keys to the castle, and in the next 5 years, he's tasked with turning Spurs into XYZ. He's going to be given the keys. He's being given the budget. He's going to be able to get rid of whatever players he wants, bring in whoever he wants. Nagelsmann's going to manage it. I think that way, mate, we turn around and go, okay, there's a plan. There's a plan. We can sit back. We can question the plan all we want, but we know there's a plan. Right now, I don't know what the plan is. It's all I'm seeing us do is keep replacing injured footballers. That's all I'm seeing us do. Let's be honest, right? If you look at the summer, if you really look at the summer, other than Paulinho, right, who was bought in on loan, by the way, isn't even ours, because we didn't have a DM. You think Kudus has come in, you could say, well, hang on, they knew Kulu was out for the season. Simmons has come in, they knew Maddison was out for the season. Like Mawani, because they knew Solanke was out for 6 months. There's nothing proactive. There's nothing there that says, right, we've got this squad, we're going to build on top of it. It's always a replacement. And as I said, I like Andy Robertson, and apparently they were going to get him on a free anyway in the summer. So what have we done? All right, let's just expedite it and we'll do it this window. Cool, but where's the winger on top of the wingers we've got? Where's the striker on top of Solanke? No, I bet you, right? If Dominic Solanke gets injured on, when are we playing? Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever we're playing Frankfurt, right?
Yeah, midweek.
If Dominic Solanke gets injured in that game and goes out for 6 months, I guarantee we then go and buy a striker. Because that's all we do. We just replace. We backfill injuries. I'm just bored of it.
We'll get a loan deal. We'll get a loan deal for 6 months.
Exactly. But that was my worry when we talked about Moani on deadline day. That was my worry. It wasn't, oh my God, I think Moani's the worst footballer I've ever seen. It was, if you really wanted Moani, why have you waited until transfer deadline day? I
never got on board with that Moani deal. Never. I think I've argued more about Moani being our striker than I actually think he's got creativity in him. I actually think he's capable, but no, he's not as a striker. No, never in a million years. And that's what we tried to do.
Clinical, is he? He's not. Same with Solanke. Every now and then he scores a good goal, but he's not clinical. He's not someone where I always use Defoe as the example because, again, Defoe wasn't world class, but everyone would want a Jermaine Defoe in their squad.
Yeah, he gets you goals.
When Jermaine Defoe got the ball 25, 30 yards out, his first thought was always, how can I shift this out of my feet, make some space for myself and get a shot away? When I see Solanke play, when I see Richie play, when I see Moani play, their first thought is always, can I bring others into the game? Can I hold the ball? Like, it's never, right, I'm going to get in that box and get a shot away. This is as bad as
But this is why last season, when people were saying, oh, but, Solanke holds the ball up well, I used to say, it doesn't matter because we need people that can score goals. Like, for me, your job as a striker, your number one job is score goals. Number two, you can hold up the play. Number three, drop back and help defend. Number four, whatever, you can create this. Yeah. But number one, are you going to score goals? Because if the answer is no, why are we spending money on you? You're a striker. That's your main. It's like a goalie. What's your main job? Make saves. Stop the ball going in the net. That is your number one job. Then after that, let's look at distribution. Let's look at punching the ball. Let's look at catching the ball. Can you actually save the ball though? Can you stop it from going in the net? But we've gaslighted Solanke as being so much better than what he really is, and he's not. He's an okay striker. Do
you know what? Striker. You can have a striker like Solanke. If we're going to say that your main skill as a striker is to press and hold the ball up, that's absolutely fine. If the two guys that play out wide are goal scoring machines, if you've got Solanke and you've got Mo Salah to the right and Son to the left, that you get away with it, right? You get away with it because those guys get you 50 goals a season. Problem is, the one guy that we need to score goals, and I'm not blaming Solanke for anything. I've always been indifferent with Solanke. I've always thought he was okay. But Spurs, we weren't happy with the fact that we wasted 55 million on Richarlison. A year and a half, 2 years later, we then decided to go and waste another 55, 60 million on Solanke. And you just think, who's in charge of that still? Is that Paratici? Is that Lang? Like, who's making these decisions? Who has done that? It's baffling.
I honestly believe at Spurs, what happens is they're told, right, we want to bring in a striker. This is the limit on wages. This is the limit on transfer fee. This is how much we're prepared to pay the agent. And this is how long they need to accept signing a contract for. So they've got this criteria. So then that narrows it down to, a few strikers. And then they say, right, which one of these can we do at the best value for money price? Now that's great when you're running a business. When you're running a business, this is exactly how you should do it. I've got nothing against this, but here's the issue. We aren't just a business. We're a football club where fans want to see us winning trophies. So you can't just follow that model And this comes back to a saying that some football fans say: if you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Yeah.
There has to be a balance, and we never seem to get that balance right. So for every Mickey van der Ven that we sign, we think we've really struck the balance, bang on the money there. You know, that shows we can strike the balance. For every Mickey van der Ven, we will sign a Danzo, who is a massive drop-off from Van der Ven. For every Mohamed Kudus, we'll sign a Tell.
Right.
For every Maddison, we'll sign an Archie Gray. And this is where it becomes unbalanced. And then you put them all together, and you've got an unbalanced squad. And then you've got managers that need to deal with it. Some managers can deal with it quite well. Some managers struggle with it. But either way, we're rarely going to win trophies doing this, no matter who the manager.
Do you know, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think you've hit the nail on the head.
What happens with us with every transfer window? It's the same shit.
For every good player we sign,
you get an average one. You get
For every good player we sign, it feels like we have to balance it out with some unknown kid or someone we're taking a punt on, and
someone who's crap.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, or just crap players. But the thing that baffles me, and again, we can have the frank conversation, but the thing that baffles me the most is we've all sat as fans and watched this squad deteriorate. And look, we all use this as the benchmark, right? We all use this team as the benchmark still. There we go. We all use that as the benchmark, don't we? Because that was the best 11 we've had for years, right? We've all sit and watched it deteriorate from that. Not a little bit, a lot.
Massively,
so for me, not one of our players right now gets in that 11. Not one of them for me. Maybe you might have the argument of maybe Paulinho over Wanyama. I don't know. But realistically, I don't think one of them gets in. And as fans, we're sitting here watching this deteriorate every year, and we're still not realizing that nothing's changing. Like, let's be fair. We go on YouTube every day and we all row. We all row with each other. We all argue about this manager, this director of football, this, that. We have watched and witnessed this deteriorate. Still, we had conversations years ago, me and you, right? Not just me and you, others, where we talked about how are we going to succession plan Son and Kane? Like, what are we doing? Because we all knew these two scored, 50, 60 goals a year between them in all competitions, right? 30, 40, whatever it was. We all sat here and said, what's the succession plan? And the succession plan has been Tell and Odegaard and Solanke and Richarlison, Valise, Odegaard, right? Yang. And every year we're going, we should be up there with Arsenal and Liverpool. And why? Like, why should we be up there with them? We don't have the players they have. So I just don't know how it changes. I feel like a broken record now on YouTube. I don't know how this changes. Every game now for me is numbing because I'm not going to see anything that's going to change my mind.
Savva, this is why I'm saying to you, we need someone that's going to come in and tell the board that without being really, really polite, but without being really rude and aggressive, someone that's going to come in there with a firm hand that's got real clout behind what they've done in football to say, you guys have got this wrong. You need to take a look at what you're doing before telling everyone else what they're doing. I can help you. I can genuinely help you with this. But you've got to listen to me. And that might be a tough thing for you guys to swallow. Unless we can meet on this, you're just going to repeat this cycle and that fan base will turn on you eventually. And the manager needs to be able to do that because at the moment, I think Frank doesn't realise he's at Tottenham yet. And what I mean by that is...
I think he's true. I think... Do you know what I think will happen with Thomas Frank?
He doesn't know how it works. Right? He doesn't know how it works here.
No. But you know what I think will happen still with Thomas Frank? He will go to he'll get another job, right? He'll go to another club for me, like a Palace. You know what I mean? Like a West Ham. I don't know. He'll go to a club like that. Not so much West Ham. He'll go to a club that have got their shit together, right? Where it's really well organised, really well planned. They'll bring him in and he'll do a good job. He'll not going to say he's winning anything, but he'll do a good job. He'll keep them in the league. He'll do... At Spurs, I genuinely at the stage where I don't know who's going to work now because we've tried Jose. We've tried the Joses and Contes. We've tried the Nunos and the Franks.
See,
we've had
right,
Poch.
So the thing is, so we need a manager that's got edge, but the edge has to be very well calculated. I'll give an example. Mourinho came in here and he publicly said Dele Alli gone and Ndombele lazy. Like he publicly dug out the players. Conte came in and he did a 10-minute rant publicly slamming the whole club. He should have done that behind closed doors, face to face with them. What Conte did was right. The execution was wrong. And
agreed.
You know, you saw him in press conferences. What do you want me to do? Look at the injury crisis. Show your managers got to deal with these kind of injuries. You taking the mick. Like he had the edge. With Frank, he's trying to be the nice guy, and he's trying to keep the players sweet, keep the board sweet. You know, by saying things like, you know, we are trying hard, we are getting better, and the board are working really hard to back me. I trust them, mate. You're trying to please everyone. They will turn on you. The players will turn on you. The fans will turn on you, and the board will sack you. That's how it works here.
Yeah.
He needs to go behind closed doors. He said he had a positive lunch with them. I hope in that lunch he turned around to him and said, "Guys, you're getting this wrong. You are getting this drastically wrong. Giving me a 19-year-old kid is ridiculous to play at left back when I don't need him, especially if you're about to sign an experienced left back. What are you doing? I need players up top that score goals. You brought me nothing. Great, you got me Gallagher. He works hard. He links up the play. Great. Do you know what, though? That's not going to win us games. Right now, that's not going to win us games. He needs to have a much firmer stance with the owners. And I don't think that's Frank. I don't think that's his nature.
I agree with that.
We need a manager that's going to do these things. But then the manager can't be the only one that does it. The football director needs to be doing it.
Agreed. I think you're right. I think what Frank's tried to do is it's so different. Ange and Frank are so different in their styles. Ange went in with the we're gonna win it all, we can compete, and I thought it was cuckoo land, right? Frank tries to be so honest that he's telling people truths that they don't want to or need to hear. So like when he's saying we're going to win, lose and draw some games, he's not lying, but fans don't want to hear that. And I feel like it kind of needs, I feel like we need a really solid football guy. The next guy that comes in, like the way an Unai Emery is, right? Who's not elite. He's not your Pep, but he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. He's managed big players, but I genuinely don't know who that man is going to be. And when people talk about Glasner, they talk about Iriola, they talk about Xavi Hernandez, someone Poch, someone Holness of Stuttgart. I genuinely don't care anymore, mate. I don't care. I don't. And that's a really sad place to be as a fan, isn't it? Isn't it sad that I just don't care?
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason Unai Emery works at Villa is because he had Monchi as his football director.
Sure.
Right. So and this is why I say it starts with the director of football. He's the first one that has to go into the club and set them all straight. He's the one that needs to put everyone in their place and let them know how they've got it wrong for 3 decades. If they buy into that and he gets control, then everything below will be much better than what we're seeing now. The manager we hire, the coaches, the medical structure, the scouting, the players we bring in, the players we get rid of, all of that will improve. But it has to start at the footballing. The highest level of football in the club is what? The football director? Is that probably the highest level?
Yeah, it got to be, yeah.
So that's where it starts. But every football director we brought in either gets sacked or leaves because they can't work with the board. Or they don't align in vision. And this is and we're there again now. No one can tell me that Lange, Vinay and Frank are all working off the same page. Because the transfer window doesn't reflect that.
Of course.
The transfer window doesn't reflect what
I'll ask this.
What
right?
we need.
If Bentancur, and again, none of us will know, but if Bentancur and Davis didn't get injured for the rest of the season, would we even be seeing Robertson and Gallagher.
No.
Or would we literally be sitting here right now with a 19-year-old kid from Brazil? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that's an uncomfortable truth, but this is where we're at. And again, we're at that stage in a window. And I said this in the summer. It got to the last week of the window, mate, and all we had done was bring in Paulinho on loan, and Kudus was the only first-team signing we'd made. It was only with 4 days to go, wasn't it 4 days? 3 days to go that they got Xavi Simons and then Mawani as a panic. So this is why when people were telling me in the summer, good window, 4 first-team starters, I was like, but it was another window of opportunity, not plan. It was another window of, this has presented itself because of an injury. Right, what are we going to do? This was the window for me where we could see, right? When people are telling me January's difficult, they've had September, October, November, December still. They've had 4 months to get their shit together. They've had 4 months to scout all of world football, to get their scouts, the intermediaries, the analysts to all of these games around the world. They've had 4 months to be talking to agents. And the only player we've bought that so far isn't a replacement is a 19-year-old left back.
It's unforgivable. Again, it's unforgivable. It's always unforgivable. I heard so many fans on YouTube, on podcasts, even in the media, and on TalkSport, and in all the live chats, on all the shows, on every show out there. So many were saying January is do or die. It's all out. Show us what you mean. Prove to us that things have changed, or that's it. I'm done with ENIC. Okay, that's what so many. This was the litmus test. This was so many fans said. All right, well then back your chat, because only 100 people turned up to a protest. So really, did you mean that? Did you really mean that, or are you gonna, or are you as a fan gonna kick the can down the road and say, well, no, let's give them till the summer, mate? We might not be in the Premier League in the summer. We might not be in the Premier League for them to be able to back anything in the summer. Now we need to bring in at least minimum 2 goal scorers, not 1, 2.
I think we need.
And I don't think we're going to bring them in. I don't think we're going to bring them in, Savva.
I don't. But the thing is, when people tell you, oh, but our first choice might not be available. Well, how do all the other clubs manage it? How do all the you don't have. You can't run a football club with, well, these are the 2 free players I want. If I can't get them, I don't want anyone else. What? How do you run a club
right? So this is what they do, though, right? Conte wanted Bastoni. Fine. He didn't want to come to Spurs. Get it. We're not getting him. Right. What's the next kind of player in line? And we drop from like an 8 out of 10 player to a 2 out of 10. Right. Get Clement Longley. What a drop off! There's no one just below. Yeah, I think Mourinho wanted Lautaro Martinez. I remember this because Kane and Son got injured. Get me Lautaro Martinez. No, we can't get him. Okay, what do we do? Danjuma. It's like You go all the way to the bottom. Yeah, and again, we've got no strikers. We need a striker. Moani. He hasn't scored a single goal in the league. The drop-off from our target to what we settle for is such a problem at this club. And we're doing it again now. We're doing it again now with the signings I'm looking at. Okay, you want a left back, fine. Why? We either go for a kid that's too young or one that's coming towards the latter years where he's going to be slowing down. Not that level of player he was. Why can't we find that 26, 25? Why can't we go and get Robinson from Fulham? Just drop whatever it takes and get him. Why can't we do that? He's 26, 27. He's about to
how we operate.
Premier League. Right, that's the kind of target we should go for, but it's not. We don't do that. And we do this all the time, and then we wonder why we've never got a squad.
I completely agree with you. And this is look, as I said, I've got no problem with Andy Robertson. It's cheap. It fixes a problem that we've got. But where's the long-term plan? Like, you know, I think most fans realise we are
can I ask you a
desperate
question
for.
on that? Can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
If we're a club that's rebuilding, right? Let's say this is a project. Would you rather right now sign Robertson or Robinson from Fulham?
Oh, I mean, ideally, I'd love Anthony Robinson. Ideally, I would love Anthony Robinson. The thing that was really telling for me about the Robertson stuff was that Ornstein, all them said, well, Spurs were going to get him on a free anyway in the summer.
Sums it
right?
up. That sums it
up. So listen, I've got no problem with a Robertson coming in because of the leadership, because of his mentality. I've got no problem with that. But again, if Spurs had anything about them, we'd be buying in a Robinson, right? If Spurs had anything about them, we would be bringing in a top ball player number 8, and we'd be bringing in a top winger, and we'd be bringing in a top striker. Now, there is a limit to that, though. I have to stay true to I think there's a limit to who will come to us. But if you're telling me, not saying you've said this, by the way, but if people are telling me that there's no left wingers out in world football that we can get that drastically improve this squad, there are no strikers we can buy right now that drastically improve this squad, then we might as well shut the club down, because this is the worst set of forwards I think I've seen as a collective. As a collective, I think it's terrible. And you're right. You're absolutely right. If we had anything about us, you go to Fulham. How much do you want for Anthony Robinson? 50, 60 million? Done. Boom. Right? How much do you want for, I don't know, whoever it is at the left wing? How much do you want for Lookman?
Yeah.
How much do you want from, you know, and people keep saying, oh, you know, Frank doesn't want Lookman. I fail to believe that Frank is looking at this squad and saying, yeah, don't give me Lookman. I don't believe it in any way, shape or form. I just can't.
Yeah. This window, like I said, was the one that everyone said, it's time to prove yourselves. And we are actually, this is turning out to be one of the worst transfer windows we've had in January in a long time. It's actually turning out to be a pretty bang average January transfer window for us. I don't think they're going to put a rabbit out of the hat and bring in some really, really exciting attacking player in the next, what is it, the 25th today? We've got 5 days, 6 days. I mean, they'll probably wait and see what happens against Frankfurt. If we beat Frankfurt, all's all right. Don't worry, just keep going. If we lose to Frankfurt, maybe there'll be a panic signing of some kind just to get the fans back on board. But I just don't see it. I don't believe this board have got a plan to bring in an attacking player that's got goals in them. And that's what we need. Someone that gets their foot on the ball, looks up and says, bang, bottom corner, 1-0. Or goes 1-on-1 with the goalie. Yeah, I can go around the goalie, taps it in. You know, 2-1, Spurs win. I don't believe they're going to do that. I think if we do sign an attacker, it's going to be one that, do you know when you know?
It will be so underwhelming, won't it? We know it.
Savva, do you know when you know the transfers are a problem? When we're divided on a signing. When we're divided on a signing, you know there's a problem. When we signed Kudus, I don't think any fan said shit, crap, this is rubbish. I don't think any fan did that. When we signed Xavi Simons, fans were divided. Oh, is he really that good? Or is he, you know, when we signed Buani, this Sousa kid, this 19-year-old, you got half the fan base, give it a chance, he's only a kid, you haven't seen him. Then you've got the other half, like you and I, saying, do we really need another kid? When is this going to stop? How many kids do we want to sign before they actually prove that they're good enough? When you sign a player, like when we signed Van der Vaart, everyone was like, Van der Vaart, oh my God.
Yeah.
When we signed, I'm trying to think when we've actually signed players where we weren't divided. When's the last
but isn't this the point?
The fact I can't even think of it is the problem.
Exactly. Isn't this the point? Wouldn't it be nice for a guy to be brought in now where the entire fan base goes, yes. Yeah, you, like, for example, if Spurs bought in Adam Wharton right now,
we'd all
for
be
example,
like, yes.
I think every fan goes proper signing.
Yeah.
If Spurs go and bring in, players like that, then we will all get on the same page. But you're absolutely bang on. We are all so divided on every signing because there's no plan. And the thing is, had they had a plan, right? If you look at Brighton, right? And again, I'm not saying, I know it's a different level, but if you look at Brighton, if you look at Brentford, right? If you look at these clubs, Bournemouth, if you look at these clubs, right? Their fans trust the signings that are coming in, even if they don't know them, because their directors of football and their scouting have done such a good job that they've built that trust, right? So they're not bringing in, if they brought in this 19-year-old kid we have, they'd all be going, yeah, we've scouted him really well. We know why we've bought him. I bet he's good. We are so burnt. We have such little trust for the scouts and the director of football that everyone we bring in, we go, is there a plan here? Is there a plan, or was this just an opportunity? Is there a plan? Mawani, he wasn't in anyone's plan. Mawani was, his deal fell through, didn't it, to Juventus the penultimate day of the window. Yeah. Solanke gets injured the same day, and we go, hang on, there's an opportunity. And I found, oh, what a great signing. Well, is it? Is it if it's not planned? So I don't see it changing. It's not changing.
The other issue as well is our managers, past and present, they accept it. They accept this. The only manager that called it out was Conte. He said, he called it out for what it was, and fans didn't like it. But when our managers accept these transfers, then they have to manage what they've been given them, because you're accepting the situation. I'd like to see the managers from day one not accept it, or not accept the job. Don't accept the job unless if you're not going to be able to work with the players you're given because you don't find these players as acceptable talent, then don't accept the job. Because once you accept the job, you're accepting the players you're given. Ange did it. Frank's doing it. Poch did it towards the end of his career.
Yep.
Mourinho did it. Mourinho accepted it. Conte was the only one that said, this is nonsense. I never wanted him. They signed him. It was a club signing. And you could see he was angry with it all. Do you know what? This is never, ever, ever, ever going to change with these owners. I never believed in this ENIC 2.0 nonsense. I never bought into it, and I still don't buy into it. I'm watching it unfold in front of me again, and I've seen this story play out for 20 years. I thought maybe, just maybe, new stadium, increased revenues, just maybe. But you know what? That was the biggest con of all. That new stadium was the cherry on the cake of their plan. They're not interested, Savva. I don't believe they're interested. I don't.
Mate,
I argue with Sean about this all the time because he's saying we are trying, we do. But Sean, there's no strategy to this. It's like this scattergun approach. Let's just fire bullets everywhere and hope something lands. Whereas the big clubs, they target the attack. They target the approach. Right, that's the target. Aim for that. Whereas we just try and hit everything, and we end up missing everything because you don't really know what you're trying to bloody hit. And they're doing it again. They're doing it yet again in front of our eyes. But this time, it's really bad. Like really bad.
Listen, one of the things that we talked about in the summer was, okay, this first window coming up is going to give us a glimpse. Now, don't get me wrong, mate. I'm not expecting in a January window Spurs to go and buy 4 to 5 really top players. I'm not at all. But this was the chance for them to show us just a glimpse, right? Something. Just show us something's different. Show us that you've got a plan. Show us that you had someone in mind and you went early in week 1 and went, this is our target. But we didn't. It took us, 3 weeks to get a 19-year-old from Brazil, right? We bought Conor Gallagher because Conor Gallagher was going to Villa, but we got him because Bentancur was out injured for the season. We're going to get Andy Robertson because Ben Davis is out for the season and then leaving in the summer, right? There's been not one where you go, yes, they planned that. There's not, like on day one of the window, fair play, at least Crystal Palace wanting Brennan Johnson, they went and got it done, right? No, we could argue how good or poor Brennan Johnson is, but that was their target, and they got it done. Where's ours? Where's ours? All I ever hear from people is, but they're not available. They're not. This is their bloody job. This is what they are paid to do. You know, you can't go and have a normal day job, not get your job done, and then go, oh, but you know, I couldn't get it over the line. Hang on, I'm paying you to get your job done.
See, then you got Frank in the media saying they're trying really hard. I trust the guys; they're doing their best. They're really stop saying that, please. Can you stop saying that as well? Because you know they're not doing their best, because look what you're being given, mate. Look at the players you're being given. They're not doing their best. What do you mean they're doing their best? If this is their best, God help us if they have a bad day. God help us if they have a bad period in their careers. If this is the best, imagine they have a bad day at the office. What we could end up with? What are they going to sign? You know, this is nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. Savva, I'll be honest with you, Savva. I never thought we'd get into a relegation battle. I still don't think we're going to get relegated, but if we don't beat Man City, which is our kind of get out of jail card, because we always seem to turn up against City, we always seem to do something. If we don't beat Man City, I reckon we lose to United, at best draw to Newcastle, and get battered by Arsenal. So out of the next 12 points available, if we don't beat City, I think we end up with 2 points out of 12. And if that happens, and God forbid West Ham win a couple of games, we are in serious, serious trouble. That's when it gets real. That's when you can say, right, we are in deep trouble now. This is real. This month is going to be so telling. So telling. And then everyone's going to look back and say, why didn't we sign some attackers in January? We should have got a left winger. Maybe we needed someone that can score goals. Too late. It's too late. Yeah. This is what we're stuck with now for a potential relegation battle. February, anyhow we don't beat City, which I've got this funny feeling we will, because we always seem to turn up. If we don't even have that as our get out of jail, if that doesn't work, I think we are in proper deep shit. Like, we are going to be looking at West Ham's results for the next month. What have we become that we are now looking at West Ham and Burnley's results? Not what, oh, did Arsenal win? Did Liverpool win? Did City win? Are we going to challenge? Are we going to get top? We're not looking at that now. We're now looking at West Ham and Burnley's results. This is where we're at. Yeah. This is where the club is now at. But
the problem is, it's been heading this way for a long time. We've had chances. Look, and this is why I harped on so much in the summer. The summer for me was huge. The summer for me was the chance where you go, right, board, you've just seen us finish 17th. We've got Champions League revenue coming in. Go and have a brilliant summer. Go and bring on bodies. Go and build a squad. But we didn't. We didn't. We waited till the last week of the window to do anything as normal. And that's why when people are telling me, oh, it's good, mate, now we're doing it again this window. Now we're doing it again. All it is opportunistic signings. And I've got nothing against that. If you are doing what you need to do, the opportunistic signings are great to accompany that, right? Like right now, if Spurs had signed a top left winger and a top striker, yeah, we're then going, right, well, you've got a top winger, top striker, Gallagher in as well, Andy Robertson, what a window. But as usual, we're not doing what we need. We once again have looked at the weakest area of the pitch and decided that's not where we're going to strengthen. That is criminal. That is sackable for all of them. That is sackable for all of them. I mean, Thomas Frank said, didn't he, before January, that he said, I want to go early. We need to buy early. And he was saying, we need more numbers in attack. It's the 25th of January. It's the 25th of January.
He said that, and then he says they're doing their best. So he has become like every other manager at Spurs. Of course. He doesn't know what he's saying anymore. They all get caught up in this ENIC trap, and then they you know what? I was going to say, they're probably not getting rid of him because it's going to cost a lot of money to get rid of him. But having said that, I don't think they know what they're doing with him anyway, with regards to whether they want to keep him or not. Do you know what? Part of me feels, Savva, they don't want to risk backing him in case they have to sack him, and that is such a dangerous policy to follow.
Cool.
That is such a
back him or sack him.
Yeah. And they're doing neither.
Agreed. You know,
they're doing neither.
My problem at this football club is no longer about who sits in the dugout. It's not. I like you summed it up earlier. The next victim. Whatever any of us thought about Ange, about Jose, about Conte, about Poch, about Sherwood, about Nuno, about Yo, doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter what any of us think about any of these managers if we are going to keep having transfer windows like we did in the summer and like we're having now. Right? It genuinely doesn't matter. And that's a horrible feeling that I've got to. And I want to be in love with the club again. I want to look forward to transfer windows and go, God, who are we going to get? Now it's like, oh my God, who are we getting? Like 5 days left. Like we will bring one in, right? And it will be a panic. I think are we all, I mean, in the chat, do you all believe that? Do you all believe we will bring someone in between now and the end of the window in the forward areas, and it probably will be a massive panic? And it will be someone that's probably no better than Solanke or Tell or Odegaard. I'm at a loss still that even West Ham's forward line is better than ours. Like, how on earth have that disorganised football club got better forwards than us? Shocking recruitment again.
I don't know. Everything stinks. Everything stinks. Everything: players, manager, coaches, medical team, recruitment, football director, board, fans. Even the fans. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing anymore. We've got no clue. Do
you know what?
Mate, we lost. Mate, we can't beat Burnley. Right? Burnley, the toilets were basically a porta cabin on wheels with no sinks. It was a toilet with no sinks, and it was on wheels. These are the teams we're now up against and struggling. This is,
do you know what?
It's mad.
Somebody said this to me yesterday. Let this sink in. We all complained, didn't we, about Timo Werner, right? We've actually managed to bring him worse than Timo Werner. We've actually managed to go weaker than Timo Werner. As I said, sack Frank, don't sack him. I don't care. But this club, I don't know. When does the window shut? Is it the 1st or is it the 31st? I don't know which day it shuts. But I just don't know. Like I'm looking at Newcastle, right? Newcastle right now, right? Oh, that's a great goal. It's not gone in. Sorry, that was brilliant play by Tonali. I'm looking at Newcastle, right? They got Wissa up top, right? They've got Gordon on one side. Hang on, let me just double check if I saw what I saw. Right, yeah, they've got Barnes one side, Gordon the other side, and Wissa up top still, right? And then on the bench, they've got Alanga, right? They've got Voltemade, and that's with people like Jacob Murphy out injured. Then I look at our forward line and I'm like, oh my God, how is it that I'm jealous of Harvey Barnes? Do you know what I mean?
Good plan.
Yes, but we should never be looking at that front three going, oh my God, I'm jealous of Harvey Barnes, Gordon, and Wissa.
Yeah. Listen, we're done. We're done. And I don't think we can attract top players as well at the moment because of the negativity surrounding us. I mean, the only thing we can offer is Champions League football. We can say, look, we are in the Champions League. Do you want to come play Champions League football? But how long is that going to last for? The window shuts on the 2nd of February, by the way.
2nd of Feb.
Yeah, which is basically the day after we play Man City. So if all goes tits up, you can expect
yeah. A
an
Mawani
imminent
type signing on
signing
the second.
on the 2nd of February.
Do you know what's funny as well? Like I've just looked at like Atalanta in this window went out and bought they got Raspadori on a loan, right?
Yeah.
1.5 million loan fee, and I think it's like 20 or 25 million obligation in the summer. How can we not get a deal like that? Like why are we not able to go, oh, Raspadori, he's a good footballer. Get him in. We need help. Get him in on loan. We just can't. Villa have got Ollie Watkins up front. They score goals. They go and bring in Tammy Abraham. Now, I'm not saying Tammy Abraham's the greatest striker in the world, but again, they've got options. I'm so disillusioned. So disillusioned with what we are, what we've become, and what Vinay and the club are trying to do. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. But hey, look, let me do some super chats and then I'm going to wrap up. So everyone can go and watch the 2 PMs. Here we go. Let's have a look. So you got Bourbon Buzzard. Thank you very much. I said, if Lang is in Frankfurt on Tuesday, it will show he isn't busy enough in a window. Hope you're well. Well, Bourbon Buzzard, I don't care where Lang is because his mobile phone is how he does all his deals, right? I don't care that he can be with a squad. For me, just get the deals done. He's had 4 months, him and Paratici. And people are going, oh, Paratici's not leaving until the end of the window because he's helping with our transfer window. Helping do what? Helping sign 19-year-olds from Brazil. Big up to you, Bourbon. Really appreciate you, my man. Big up to Anthony Clark. So big up Savva, best Spurs channel ever. Oh, I'm not sure about that. There's loads of good channels, but thank you. And let's hope Man United beat you lot today, shall we? Thanks, Anthony. Can't say good luck to Arsenal fans. So let's hope Man U pull something out there. Big up to you, my man. Big up to AJ, who said, I'm not convinced Levy has left the club. He may have stood down to take the pressure off the owners. This window has his DNA all over it. Well, Stel, just before we go, I've got a few more to do these.
Yeah.
Levy's DNA? Or is this Levy and ENIC's DNA? Because they're still here.
So Vinay's the chairman now. So can't put this on Levy. As much as I wanted him out and he had to go, I never wanted Vinay. Vinay's in charge now. He oversees Lange and Frank, and Paratici's still here or not here. Yeah, you'd have to say ENIC then. You have to say ENIC.
It's just sad, isn't it? Listen, AJ, lots of people saying that maybe Levy hasn't gone. Look, all I know is I don't care if Levy hasn't gone or ENIC haven't gone. All I care about is that they sell up this football club if they're not going to change. And unfortunately, window one of them being in charge without Levy, unless they pull a couple of rabbits out the hat in the last 5, 6, 7 days, nothing's changed. So they can all go. Big up to you. Big up to Jordan. Always very generous to me. Thank you, Jordan. He said, I think all over the pitch is a mess. Our defending is utterly shambolic. Our midfield can't control the game. And when we do create chances, our forwards can't score. It's such a shambolic squad. I think you could probably...
Go on, sorry.
No, go on.
I said, do you remember after the Dortmund game, everyone said things have changed, we've turned a corner. And I said, really? Really?
We can't string two games together, can we? We can't string two games together.
I had fans telling me, oh, this is the Hertinger effect. Look what our new coach has brought. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, man.
It's funny when we won. It's so funny when we won. Those that hate Frank were like, "See, that wasn't Frank; it was Heitinger." Yesterday, I saw somebody post on YouTube. Went, was today Heitinger or Frank? Which one of you carried? Like, it's ridiculous. Big up to you, Jordan. Can't agree more. By the way, you could have gone further with this and said, not just on the pitch, it's a mess. It's a mess off the pitch, and that's the bigger problem, isn't it? That we're a mess all over. Big up to you. You come in again, very generous. Another big super chat. Thank you very much. And said, as much as I don't rate Odegaard that much, we are in a position where we can't even afford him to get injured. It's negligence of the highest order. Mawani, unused sub yesterday, speaks volumes about what Frank thinks of him. Jordan, look, for me, I agree. We're in a position where Odegaard is our best winger. It's so embarrassing, but you're right. I think Mawani, I don't know what you think still. I think Mawani has had so many opportunities this year. He doesn't deserve to be playing games. I think he's been absolutely horrific.
I think he should play in the 10 next to Xavi Simons in a two-man attacking mid, because I think that's where he's got his best output for us. And if you look against Aston Villa, that's the position that he beat a man and then laid off the ball to Odegaard, who scored. And I've said this, I think Xavi Simons is better when he's got a player next to him in that attacking role.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't play Mawani anywhere else on the pitch. The way that we set up, I wouldn't play him anywhere else on the pitch.
Yeah. No, it's I can't disagree with that. Yeah, big up to you, Jordan. It's sad that we're at that stage, but that's where we are, mate. Big up to Nasty Ninja, who said new driver doesn't mean a road-worthy car. This is my worry. I'm not saying Frank doesn't need to go, but this is my worry, is that somebody, to use your analogy, is just going to pick up the same car and drive it with the same tools, and maybe they get a new manager bounce. Maybe that's what's needed to save our season. But what if they don't, right, Stel? Like, what if a new manager comes in and we just continue to tumble down the table? Like, how do we go from that? This
go to the championship.
It simply can't.
Yeah. Do you know, as I left the stadium yesterday, this lovely lady who was one of the Burnley stewards with her northern accent said to me, have a safe journey home, I said to her, yeah, I'll see you next year in the championship. And she started cracking up laughing. I said, I'm not joking. This isn't a joke. I'll see you next year in the championship.
God, can you imagine if we went, oh my, it doesn't even bear thinking about, does
Burnley away next season.
Big up to Richest Man. Lovely to meet you, by the way, at the protest the other day. So big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for the super sticker. That's appreciated. Farid has said, no wonder why you were done with this, dumbest fans. Look, I'm just done with everything with football, to be honest. I feel that football's got very silly now. Managers are getting sacked every 3 games. No fans happy with anything. But big up to you, Fred. Really appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. The 2 marks. I'm guessing this is Cook E. I'm guessing this is the Cookmeister. I said, afternoon, chaps. A great show as always. Nothing changes with Enoch. It's a disgrace. A bad February could see us right in trouble. Yeah, we've got to look. We've got to win one of these games that we're saying we're not going to win. We've got to win one of them, right? Because we are a mess. We're in a position where Brentford are playing Forest, and I'm going, come on, Brentford, right? Let that sink in. I'm actively going, come on, Brentford, because we can't have Forest catching us up. Big up to you, Mark. Big up to Craig. Fenner, very generous. So, and everyone blaming Frank and our forwards. Has anyone ever considered our defense is dog shit? They crumble under pressure. The positioning is weak. They should know where to be and how to defend its basics. Mate, I'm someone, I've never thought that these defenders are as good as everyone says. I don't think they're great. I think that our 2 centre-backs are better going forward than they are at the back. And I don't think our fullbacks are actually fullbacks. I feel like they're more wingbacks. But, mate, the basics are escaping us right now. The whole thing's a shit show. And big up to a user who said, Stel, don't get too confident. Burnley, City, nah.
Listen. If there's one team you would never bet against us losing to, it's Man City. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happens when we play each other. I don't know whether they lose all confidence or they just shit themselves. But whenever it's Spurs Man City, weird things happen, guys. Straight under Poch, under Jose, under Conte, under Frank, under Nuno, under... Our best game of the year was City away. The season. It was City away. We were amazing that day. I don't know what happens, but we just seem to... it's the weirdest thing. It's like a phenomenon. It's like the Northern Lights. You can't explain it. It's just weird. Everyone wants to see it.
And Nottingham Forest, as we talk, have just taken the lead away at Brentford. So Nottingham Forest have taken the lead. So what that will mean for anyone, that will mean that Nottingham Forest will go up to 25 points, if I'm not wrong. As it stands, they'll move up to 25, 3 points behind Spurs.
This is what I was saying to you and everyone watching your show earlier. These other managers are looking at Spurs and they can smell blood. Do you remember that season when Conte said, we just got to stay in touching distance, and if Arsenal slip up, we've got to be in a position to pounce? And they slipped up, and then we beat them 3-0 at the Lane, and we pounced. And Conte said months before that, we've just got to be in a position in case we have the opportunity to pounce. I am telling you guys, Dyche, Nuno, Scotty Parker, all these managers, they've told their players, we've got to push hard now. Because if that team at Tottenham, if this carries on, we've got to be in a position to pounce. I am telling you this. They can smell blood and we don't realise it. They can smell it. And if I was a rival manager, I'd be saying, do you know what? These fuckers, man, they're choking. We can get them, but we've got to do our bit. And they've got the bit between their teeth. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. People don't want to... Savva, no one wants to believe the unthinkable, but the unthinkable is becoming the thinkable. We could easily be in a relegation fight come March. Proper relegation fight. 1990s. Remember that season we had to beat Oldham 2-1 last game of the season or something to stay up, Oldham Athletic. I'm telling you, they can smell it. They can all smell it. And rightly so, because we're a shambles.
Yeah, look, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Listen, everybody, enjoy your Sunday. Just quickly, Craig's coming again and said the word wasn't weak. Laugh out loud, big up, guys. Craig, I just want to cry, mate. I just want to cry. Listen, Everton of the South, I believe that we've become. Guys, I'm going to send you over to, it'll be pretty funny, watch Wolfie on his watch-along. He's always funny, especially when they concede. When you get over there, just say Savva Raid or FHTV Raid. Much love. Please subscribe to the Spurs Corner as well for Stel and the lads. Take care. Much love. Thanks, Stel. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.